You know the cycle. You promise yourself this is the last time. You delete the history. You tell God you're serious now. But then it happens again. Maybe it's late at night when you're alone. Maybe it's when stress hits hard. The temptation shows up and suddenly all those promises feel like they're made of paper. Then comes the fall. And after, that emptiness in your chest. That voice saying you're disgusting. You can't even look at yourself. You feel like a fake, like you're playing Christian while your secret life is rotting you from the inside. The shame is so heavy you can barely breathe. Sound familiar? But here's what really keeps you up at night. It's not just about the lust anymore. The real terror is something deeper. You're scared you'll never change. You're afraid this is just who you are now. Like maybe you've crossed some line and there's no coming back from it. You start thinking things like, what if God gets tired of me? What if I've used up all my chances? What if I'm just pretending and I was never really saved? That fear is worse than the lust itself. Because lust is a battle. But the fear that you'll always lose? That feels like a death sentence you have to carry around every single day. Now stop for a second. Let me show you something that might mess with your head. The fact that you hate this so much. That's actually proof something's still alive in you. Think about it. People who are spiritually gone don't feel this kind of war. They make peace with it. They stop caring. But you're in agony over this. You're fighting. You're crying out. You're desperate for freedom. That desperation isn't weakness. It's evidence that God's Spirit is still working in you. Dead people don't fight. They just sink. The fact that you're still swinging means you haven't given up, even when it feels like you have. Picture this. You're in a house and there's a fire in one room. At first it's small. You think you can handle it. But every time you feed it, even just a little, it grows. It starts spreading to other rooms. And the crazy part, the fire feels warm at first. It feels like comfort when you're cold. But the whole time, it's consuming your house. That's what lust does. It offers you something that feels like relief. But it's taking up space where real life is supposed to be. The warmth is fake. And by the time you realize the damage, the smoke is already in every corner. You can't see clearly anymore. You can't breathe right. And you wonder if there's even a house left to save. You're not the first person to feel this way. Paul talked about this exact war. He said he did the things he hated and couldn't do the things he wanted. He called himself wretched. This is the guy who wrote half the New Testament. If he felt this tension, then maybe it's not a sign that you're fake. Maybe it's a sign that you're human. Even David fell hard. A man after God's own heart messed up in a massive way. But God didn't throw him away. Jesus said the spirit is willing but the body is weak. He knows. He gets it. This battle you're in isn't proof that you're broken beyond repair. It's proof that you're in the middle of something real, something messy, something that every believer has to walk through at some point. Here's where most people get stuck. They think the answer is just trying harder. White-knuckling it. Making more promises. Setting up more filters. And yeah, those things can help. But if that's all you're doing, you're missing the deeper issue. You're trying to kill the desire without changing what's feeding it. Lust isn't just about bodies or images. It's about what you're reaching for when you feel empty. It's about what you run to when life gets hard. If you're only focused on stopping the behavior, you're fighting shadows. You have to ask yourself what's underneath it. What are you actually hungry for? Because lust is almost always a substitute for something your heart is starving for. So here's the truth that might change everything. You don't beat lust by just resisting it. You beat it when something else becomes more powerful than it. When something else fills the space it's been taking up. When your heart finds something better to chase, lust starts losing its grip. It's not about hating lust more. It's about loving something else more. What if the real battle isn't about trying harder to push lust away? What if it's about pulling closer to something that makes lust look like the cheap counterfeit it actually is? Because lust can't survive in a heart that's truly full. It only thrives in the cracks, in the loneliness, in the places where you're not being fed the way God intended. Let's talk about what happens after you fall. You feel dirty. So you hide. You skip prayer because you think God doesn't want to hear from you right now. You avoid worship because it feels fake. You isolate yourself because you think you need to clean yourself up before you can come back. And that isolation, that's what keeps the cycle going. Shame loves secrecy. It grows in the dark. And the enemy knows that. He doesn't just want you to fall. He wants you to stay down. He wants you to believe the lie that you have to fix yourself before God will take you back. But that's the opposite of how grace works. Jesus doesn't wait for you to get clean. He meets you in the mess and does the cleaning himself. Here's what you need to hear. Jesus doesn't run from broken people. He runs toward them. He's not shocked by your struggle. He's not up there with his arms crossed waiting for you to get it together. He knows every time you've fallen and he's still calling you his. That's not a license to sin. It's an invitation to stop trying to earn what he's already given you. When you fall, the first move isn't to punish yourself. It's to turn around. Not because you deserve it, but because he's already standing there. The shame wants to keep you far away. But grace says come back messy. Come back guilty. Come back tired. Because the battle isn't yours to win alone. It never was. You need to change how you see winning. Victory doesn't mean you never get tempted. It doesn't mean you go 6 months without a single wrong thought. Victory is getting back up one more time than you fall. Victory is choosing to fight again even when you feel defeated. It's progress, not perfection. Stop measuring yourself against some impossible standard where you never mess up. That's not what God expects. He expects you to stay in the fight. To keep coming back. To keep asking for help. To keep believing that he's not done with you. Every time you choose to turn back toward him instead of staying in the pit, that's a win. Don't let the enemy convince you that anything less than perfection means failure. If you're still here, still fighting, still refusing to give up even though you've fallen 100 times, I want you to do something. Drop a comment and just say, I'm still in the fight. That's it. You don't have to share your whole story. You don't have to explain yourself. Just let it be known that you haven't quit. That you're still swinging. Because when you say it out loud, even if it's just in a comment section, something shifts. You're not alone anymore. You're part of a group of people who are done pretending they have it all together. We're all in this mess together. And maybe that's exactly what you need to hear today. You're not the only one. And you're not disqualified. You're still in this. This isn't just a channel. It's a group of people who are tired of fake spirituality. We're not here to post perfect lives and act like we've got it all figured out. We're here to fight together. To be honest about the battles. To push each other toward Jesus when the weight feels too heavy to carry alone. If that's something you need, if you're done doing this alone, then join us. Hit that subscribe button. Be part of a community that's choosing real faith over religious performance. Because we're not just trying to survive. We're learning how to actually live free. And we're not doing it alone.